Now we move over to Europe. Northern Ireland is on edge after a second night of violence in Ballymena, where hundreds of masked rioters attacked police and torched homes and cars. Authorities say the unrest was racially motivated following a protest over an alleged sexual assault involving two Romanian teenagers. Police responded with riot gear, water cannons and plastic bullets after being bombarded with Molotov cocktails and steel poles. At least 15 officers were injured and several homes were destroyed. Migrant families say they feel targeted, with some residents marking doors to signal their nationality to avoid attack. Officials have condemned the violence as terrifying and urged calm. Police are investigating the incidents as hate crimes. Now let's move over to Latin America. Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, has denied leading a coup plot, but admitted to dismissing alternative ways to stay in power after his 2022 election loss. During his Supreme Court testimony, Bolsonaro claimed the options, like declaring a state of siege, were legal under the Constitution, but never acted upon. He argued that the coup was never considered, despite testimony from his former aide that he edited a decree to detain officials and call fresh elections. Bolsonaro used the hearing to defend his presidency and even apologized to justices for claiming they took bribes. This is what Bolsonaro stated during his testimony.
Nunca fugi das quatro linhas da Constituição. Golpe, eu fico até arrepiado quando se fala que o 8 de janeiro foi um golpe. Aquelas 1.500 pessoas, pobres coitados, que até foi levantada por uns que me antecederam agora há pouco aqui, 100 ônibus, né, chegaram na região do setor militar urbano na madrugada de domingo. E o pessoal foi embora logo depois da baderna. E sobrou para quem estava acampado aqui. Quem realmente fez, foi embora. Só tem uma coisa a afirmar, a Vossa Excelência. Da minha parte, por parte de comandantes militares, outros estados do meu lado, nunca se falou em golpe. Golpe é uma coisa abominável. O golpe até seria fácil começar. O after day, que é simplesmente imprevisível e danoso para todo mundo. O Brasil não poderia passar por uma experiência dessa. E não foi sequer cogitado essa hipótese de golpe no meu governo.
We stay in the region. A wave of coordinated explosions has rocked southwest Colombia, killing at least 7 people and injuring 28 others in what officials say were targeted attacks against police forces. The deadly blast struck the city of Cali and towns in Cauca and Valle de Cauca. Among the dead are 2 police officers, with both civilians and security personnel among the wounded. Authorities say the attacks bear the hallmarks of the Estado Mayor Central Guerrilla Group, though no claim of responsibility has been made. Colombia's vice president and regional leaders have condemned the violence, demanding urgent action from President Petro's government. Officials say 6 more attacks were foiled and 2 suspects were arrested. The attacks come just days after an assassination attempt on a presidential hopeful, raising fears of escalating unrest ahead of the next election cycle. We have some breaking news coming in once again. China's Vice Foreign Minister Sun Weidong is set to visit India this week in a bid to build on recent diplomatic gains. His 2-day trip follows Indian Foreign Minister Secretary Vikram Misri's visit to Beijing earlier this year, where both sides agreed to de-escalate tensions and normalise ties. The visit comes months after troop disengagement in eastern Ladakh and the Modi Xi meeting in Russia, marking a fresh push to repair a relationship that nearly collapsed during the Galwan standoff. We move to Europe once again. Thousands of people in Austria held a candlelight vigil and several hundred people attended Mass after a former student opened fire at a school in Austria's second biggest city of Graz, killing 10 people and injuring many others before taking his own life, according to authorities. According to some reports, Austrian Chancellor Christian Stocker, as well as Vice-Chancellor Andreas Babler and Foreign Minister Beate Menil Reskler, attended the Mass at Graz Cathedral. 3 days of mourning have now been declared in Austria, and a nationwide minute's silence will be held on Wednesday at 10 a.m. local time in memory of the victims. Flags on the Hofburg Palace in Vienna, where President Alexander Van der Bellen has his office, will fly at half-mast. The school where the attack took place will remain closed until further notice. A UN panel has called on the UK to renegotiate the recent agreement returning